All right, hello, happy Monday, happy Memorial Day to all of you guys. So I am here to do a all signs reading, and this is going to be what is on your mind today. What are you thinking about for all signs? Welcome to the channel. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure that you click the bell notification so that you can be contacted whenever I upload a new live reading. Okay, so we're going to be using two different decks today: the Witch's Tarot and Legacy of the Divine Tarot. And I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna call to the spirit guides, ascended masters, guardian angels, ancestors. We want to know what is on everybody's mind today on the 27th of May of 2019. What is on the Aries mind? Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. All right, thank you, spirits. It's underneath this. Hello from Sweden. Hello. All right, spirit guides, what messages do you have for whatever it is on everybody's mind? What messages, advice, guidance, clarification do you want to give for today? For the Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. By the way, guys, I'm running a Memorial Day special for today. You can get a 30-minute reading for $33. Link is in the video description box. All right. I don't want to use 3 cards today. So we're going to also throw a 3rd card from our Wildwood Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks also. Spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels for the Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. What messages do you have from the Wildwood Tarot for May the 27th, 2019? Cards are thick. All righty. Okay, so let's get started. I'm not real sure how much time I have because I've got a reading scheduled. And let me see what time the person is scheduled for today. Hello, Shireen Ladson. Hello. Oh, cool. Ah. Okay, I'm going to have to put her at... wait a minute. Let me see here. Who do I have? No, that's for Wednesday. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's not till 6 p.m. Okay. All right, y'all, let's get started. We're going to start with the Aries, of course. If you're not watching live, you want to give the video a few minutes to process, and the timestamps for each sign will be in the comment section, okay? So for the Aries, you guys are thinking about, you've got the Knight of Swords. So this is what you're thinking about. This is a person that has been communicating something to you. I feel like the communication that seems to be coming from you has something to do with people being able to get into your head and block you. So this is either an air sign, something that they communicated with you about yourself. And I feel like it's something that is just in your head. It could be either an air sign or a fire sign, but it could literally be any zodiac sign. But you're thinking about some communication that you received, and it has something to do with you. Now, I feel like this person was being very verbally abusive to you, sort of setting limitations on you. And what they said to you is really, really, really getting to you. What they said, the words that they said. Okay. Somebody that communicated something that had something to do with limitation. I feel like this person tried to tell you, what your capabilities are. It could be about anything, but mainly it's about career and then also perceptions about yourself. So a lot of Aries, you guys are thinking about something that somebody has communicated to you. I feel like it is some sort of negative communication. And then now you're thinking about, what are your limitations? What is it that you can deal with? This may even be something that you read about on the news. Something that you possibly saw in social media. And I'm just going to tell you that what Spirit is telling me is that that person was pretty much lying to you. Like, I feel like they were sort of trying to manipulate you into thinking negative thoughts of yourself and what it is that you can do. I feel like this person can be anybody in your life, but I feel like it's somebody that's close to you. I feel like you spoke to that person about possible career goals and they shot you down. I feel like this could be about love as well for some of you Aries, because I feel like this person may have presented an offer to you that you're not going to take, or you're thinking about taking it, but Spirits is definitely telling you to not take the offer because you can do better. So there was some sort of offer that was extended to you. It's either love or money, and you're thinking, this is not good enough for me, which makes a lot of sense because whatever they offered you was probably pretty insulting to not only your intelligence, but to the power that you know that you have within yourself to do better. Okay. So, especially if somebody offered you a relationship type that is not what you want, this is only going to set limitations for your life, and it's a waste of time. Spirits is saying, do not enter. They're saying, do not enter. This person made some kind of offer to you, and Spirits is suggesting that you do not take that offer, because the offer that they're making to you is not the correct path. That's why the Seven of Wands came up in the reverse position. Okay, so you can do better. But whatever it is that is based upon, you can do better. Okay, especially when it comes to love, because I told y'all they was sending some men. They sending some men, y'all. All right, let's move on to the Tauruses. Tauruses are thinking about a water sign individual. Okay, this person can either be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I feel like it is got to be a lover, somebody that you're involved with romantically, because the Two of Cups comes up, or this could be your mother, or it could be a brother or a friend. And I feel like what you're thinking about is competition with this person. The Five of Bowls comes up. So here's the thing about competition, and especially when it relates to the spirit realm. I was actually going to come and talk about this today and have a chat about this. When it comes to your spiritual energy, all of that competition stuff is out the door. Okay. Also, I feel as though if this is about love, I feel like the fact that you were not involving yourself within competitions to where, you know, it's real sad when you see this happen. It's really, really sad. Let me give you a scenario. This has anything to do with love. Okay. Somebody has expressed interest in you, but somebody else, or either a couple of other people, they have that same interest in that person. And these other people kind of like, okay, if y'all ever saw Cinderella and y'all noticed how Cinderella was like the main character, she was the main one, but then the ugly stepsisters was like throwing on dresses and piling makeup on their face so that they could commit, or so that they could compete. And people that do stuff like that, they're really not within their true nature, because people will recognize that and they will notice that and they will see it as a weakness. So if you're somebody that has a tendency to do that, then that's bad. You've got to love yourself, especially when it comes, especially if it comes to somebody that you're competing with. Like, for example, I put up a couple of reading specials, and literally one of my competitors is constantly following me around, thumbs downing my videos, especially with my promotions that I do when it comes to running specials. This person and here's the whole thing about the spirit realm. There is no competition in the spirit realm. There is none. It's all about, do you have the power to manifest or not? Which one is it? So you got to look at yourself, and you've got to think more of yourself. And so also I feel as though there was a love offer that was made to you because you didn't do that. That is just I think that it is just the most ridiculous thing, especially when it comes to love work. Especially when it comes to love. There is no competition when it comes to real love. A person is going to discover, and I feel like somebody made an offer to you because of that. I really do. It looks like it's a water sign person that made an offer, but I can also see where you stood up and you said, you know what? I'm not going to be like all those other women, or I'm not going to be like all of those other men that are competing for your affection. Okay. And those are usually the ones that get the best results, because other people that are competing, especially when it comes to love, but also it can be in business, they just look weak. They look powerless. They look like they don't have their own power. They look like they are codependent upon someone else. And like I told you guys, I've got somebody that literally pays people to do things so that it can make this person look better. When in reality, why can't this person just make herself look better? Why does it always have to be some kind of codependency on somebody else? This person don't have no success unless they talking crazy or attacking me, which has nothing to do, and it just totally does not work when it comes to spirituality and the spirit realm. Okay, now if you're somebody that's working in sales and you're competing with all of the other people in sales, that's different. But when it comes to spirituality and when it comes to love, there is no competition. Okay, at all. You can call somebody out on their BS. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Let me get my son quieted down. He up there partying way too hard. Hold on a minute. Good Lord, that boy is loud when he's playing and stuff. So that's why I told y'all I couldn't have no work from home job doing customer service because my kids are way too loud. Anyway, so if you are a Taurus and it's crossing your mind to go into some kind of competition with this person, whoever this King of Cups is, you're going to lose. Because first of all, you're trying to covet something that is meant for that other person, and it's not meant for you at all. So this can make you look bad, okay? And it'll make you feel bad about yourself. It literally does, especially when it comes to love or spirituality. Or here's the thing, if you're trying to show that you have the capacity to help others, if you're trying to do that, but at the same time, you're trying to destroy somebody else that literally did nothing to you. They didn't do anything. They didn't, because people ain't going to attack you unless you attack them. Okay. So your true heart and your love for yourself is what's going to shine through, not some stupid competition. Because it makes you look very disingenuous. Okay. Be genuine and be yourself is the advice of the spirits for the Tauruses. Let's look at the Geminis. The Emperor. So a lot of you Geminis are thinking about either your father today, or you're thinking about somebody that you perceive as being more powerful than you. So you're thinking about somebody, if this person that you're thinking about today does in fact have power over you. And the reason why they have power over you is because you're allowing them to. So, you know, the Knight of Swords comes up in this reading, which says that you need to focus on yourself and what you want. And this does have something to do with money. I feel like a lot of Geminis are focused on money because the Three of Stones comes up in the upright position. And so a lot of you guys are thinking about financial growth, maybe even growth within areas of your love life, maybe growth within areas of your health. Some of you may be thinking about the health problems of an elder that have nothing to do with you. It could be based upon health problems, mental health problems. If you tell yourself that you're going to be just like that person, then that's exactly what's going to happen. And it doesn't really matter what the people around you are saying. What are you saying? What messages are you sending to yourself? The only way you're going to truly have any kind of financial growth and stability is if you focus on your creativity and you stop focusing on other people. Let it flow. Let your creativity flow and you'll manifest, because the Emperor is just like the Empress. The Emperor has something to do with money and status. Not only money, but status, but you're looking at it the wrong way. You're totally looking at the situation the wrong way. You keep comparing yourself to other people or to somebody else that you think is more powerful than you. And you got to stop doing that. You need to, and the advice is to, start grounding yourself. Start thinking more of yourself, and you'll manifest the things that you want, which could include money, love, status. You're way too focused on somebody else. You need to focus on your creativity and the power that you have within yourself, and stop focusing on another person that does in fact have power over you. Now, this Emperor could also be your boss. And a lot of you are wanting expansion. You're wanting expansion. A lot of you Geminis are wanting to grow. And the only way you're going to grow is if you focus on your own intent, and what it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. Stop trying to pull, because listen, everybody else is going to be doing something different. People are doing different things that are for them and them only. You need to do you and find that strength within yourself. I see a lot of people doing that, trying to compare, and then even trying to act or be like other people. Be you. And this is the way you're going to have growth. This is how people are going to respect you. See, the Emperor is all about respect. Respect me. So it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. Gemini, you guys need to stop putting so much focus into other people and put that focus into your own creativity. Then you'll have that money and that financial growth. Also, a lot of you are thinking about, your houses. You may be thinking about, maybe repairs that you need to do. And, focusing on someone else, blaming someone else for your problems is just not the way to go. Okay. All right, moving on to the Cancers. Cancers, you guys are thinking about blessings, money. Also, some of you Cancers may be thinking that you're pregnant. Some of you may be thinking, am I pregnant? Did I get pregnant? Okay. A lot of you are thinking about change in your life as well. The Moon card comes up, which lets me know that you're letting your fears get the best of you. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. And then also a lot of you y'all seem to be under some kind of frequency or influence that is not good, and it's causing you to think negatively of yourself. Now, the 10 of Arrows comes up, and it's in the reverse position, and this represents needing to break free of negative associations. A lot of you might be thinking about money and prosperity today. You've got to step outside of those people, because the Moon card can also represent synchronicity as well as law of attraction. If you have certain fears based upon anything, then, especially if it's people that you're around, they can have a negative effect over on you. And you need to be able to probably cut ties. I feel like you probably should have been done cut ties with this person, or either take a look at what happened and assess it. Some of you may have just lost your jobs. Some of you may have, felt like you lost some money. Maybe some of you loaned money or lended money to somebody that is not paying it back. I don't loan out money to nobody. This is not Jamila's bank and savings loan. No, that's not what I do. Okay. So if you guys loaned out money to somebody and they're not paying it back, that person is probably not going to ever pay it back. And they wanted power over you in the first place. See, that is one of the tactics of negative people, to borrow money from you and then not pay it back, which can have a disastrous effect over your finances. When somebody owes you money and they don't pay it back, they can create a spiritual debt in your mind, to where you're focused on that debt and you're not focused on anything else. So this is the reason why I don't loan out money to nobody. Fellow Cancers, I know that some people asked you for some money, and you know, hopefully y'all said no. Because as you can see, especially if somebody's trying to borrow money from you, they're probably trying to borrow money from you. I would not loan that money back because they are not going to pay it back. They're going to betray you. So if you haven't given out the money, then don't. If you have, then you're going to need to just chuck it up as a loss. You know, otherwise, unless you take this person to court to pay you that money back, and then even sometimes when you do that, it don't matter. They still won't pay it back. Because, you know, in a lot of states, if you sue somebody because they borrowed money or because they owe you money, in a lot of states, what they'll do is they will either garnish it out of their wages. Well, you knew this person didn't have any wages to garnish. Okay, and it's nothing wrong with helping people, but I feel like this person that's trying to get money from you is not trustworthy. And this person is doing it with a foul intent. They're doing it so that they can have some sort of power over you in some kind of way. That's just another tactic that they use. It is. I just had somebody just recently trying to get money from me, and I was like, hell no. I ain't giving you a dime. Okay, make a donation to me. Give me some money. I'm the one helping you. Okay. So don't do it. All right. Let's look at the Leos. Leos, you guys, what's heavily on your mind is moving, or either moving forward, moving on with your life is what's on your mind. A lot of Leos are just in general ready to move on with their lives and to stop being held up by certain people. A lot of you Leos are dealing with your mother. And then some of you guys are dealing with a significant other that you may have children with, because the Empress comes up. Okay. Four of Swords comes up. Okay. And what this card is indicating to me is that a lot of y'all possibly need to separate yourselves from that negative energy, because I'm telling you, negative, bad people will have you in a messed up situation. I keep telling people this, and people just go and they do what they do. And then they find themselves in a rough situation, and it is not necessarily your job to dig them out of that, because they're never going to learn. So I would separate myself. I wouldn't answer their calls. They're probably trying to either borrow money from you, or either they're trying to persuade you or pressure you to do something that you don't necessarily want to do. There's some people that like that, especially if you have children, Leo. Somebody asked me to borrow $25. I said, hell, my grandbaby's milk costs $25. And so they expect you to change your whole stilo, you know, get on welfare and WIC and food stamps, just so that you can afford to loan them money or give them money. And it's just, you need to move on and separate yourself from that person or those people. Because Leos are really, really good manifestors. But when it comes to people trying to take advantage of you and trying to get something over on you, you got to be stronger than that, Leo. Okay? And you know what? It's, you know, especially if it's somebody that you may care about, sometimes you got to be cruel to be kind, because that person needs to learn a lesson and they need to get their own. You can tell that a lot of you Leos are very, very abundant at the moment. Okay, with the Empress coming up, you guys have that abundance that's coming. And people can see it and they want to try to steal or borrow that energy, but they've got to get their own. They got to learn how to find their own way. Okay. All right, let's move on to the Virgos. Virgos are thinking about financial problems. They're thinking about, also a lot of you are thinking about sex. Okay, a lot of you Virgos are thinking about sex, and you're thinking about intimacy, and you're thinking about relationships. What you're thinking about today is, you know, I work, but there's other aspects of myself that are not being satisfied. And you know the saying of Stewie, all work and no play makes Stewie a dull boy. You guys got to start balancing things out because you're very imbalanced. Okay, I can tell that with the Two of Pentacles. Also, the way that you're looking at it is sort of a little backwards, because if you can manifest somebody that has their, has their money and is willing to put it with, together, and you'll have that extra help. I actually had a Virgo that came to one of my videos, and this person was like, I don't ask for help from nobody. Well, when you're speaking of in terms of a relationship, this person is supposed to be a helpmate. They are. That's what they're supposed to be. Okay. A lot of y'all might also be thinking about getting a roommate today to help out with your bills. Definitely can tell that money is on the minds of a lot of Virgos, but not just money, because your money is very deeply tied with your love life. So you're very imbalanced. You work 12 hours a day, but you don't have any sort of companionship. The Queen of Bowls comes up in the reverse position. And so this is where your Kundalini is probably a little bit out of whack. And the reason why is because you guys don't really have a lot of balance in your life. A lot of you may also be thinking about a relationship with somebody that could possibly be cheating. Or this person is somebody that could possibly be like a twin flame or a soulmate. And you feel that connection with that person, but you don't really know how to connect actually. Okay, and that's because you're too focused on one thing. You need to also focus. So if you're like doing your magic or whatever, and you're doing your money manifestation magic, your love and your law of attraction is really going to make a huge difference with that. And it's not about just saying, it's about being. Because a lot of people will say whatever they want to say, but they're not that. There's something totally different. And I feel like you guys are going to have to, focus on grounding yourselves and understand that it's not, everything in your life has to be balanced, and you got to get out and you got to have some fun, and, just maybe, do something that you enjoy. Okay. When you let your hair down, then that's when things will start to flow into you. Also, stop focusing so much on the problem and focus on the solution to the problem. Okay, Virgos have a very bad tendency to do that. So if you're having money problems, focus on either some sort of alternative, or either focus on something different, and then things will start to flow into you. One more thing. I can see a fire sign individual that seems to be pulling on you. This person is pulling on you. And this is what's causing things to go up and down. This is what's causing things to not be where you want it. This is what's causing the struggle and the financial struggles, is that you got yourself a psychic vampire that you need to disconnect yourself from. Even if it's somebody that is trying to identify themselves as like a twin flame or a soulmate, feel like that person is a false twin. You're dealing with a false twin flame, which false twin flames can create a lot of disaster in your life and in your mind. Let's look at the Libras. What is on the mind of a Libra? You're thinking about contacting or making some kind of contact with the fire sign. So you're thinking about somebody that you want to contact you. You got the Page of Swords as well, and the Mirror card. And the Mirror card is all about focusing your intentions and where they should be focused on. Page of Swords is a spirit guide that is telling you to focus on yourself. You need to take a look at yourself. The person that is featured in the Mirror card is the goddess of sexual energy and healing, as well as fate. Something about hidden knowledge. Also, the Mirror is almost like the High Priestess. Okay, I think the Mirror in this deck replaces the High Priestess. So there's some kind of false friendship, false association that you probably need to take a very, very close look at, because you're definitely thinking about this person and you're thinking about this person contacting you, but it was a false friendship. Like a lot of the stuff that they said to you, they lied to you. They were not honest with you. Okay, you got to focus on that, and you've got to go ahead and heal from it. If somebody lied to you and, was being mischievous, or they were being, what's the word that I'm looking for? They were just being mysterious. I feel like this is a love interest. It may hurt, but it's better to go ahead and heal your solar plexus chakra, because out the gates, you knew it was false. You knew it. And it's going to always be false. It is. It's going to always be false. Focus on something real is what Spirits is saying. Okay? Focus on yourself. Focus on your creativity. Quit focusing on something that was fake from the beginning. And really the only thing that's hurt is your bruised ego. Okay? All right, let's look at the Scorpio. Scorpios are heavily thinking about a reunion with someone. You're thinking about the past. It's either a reunion, or today you're thinking about your traumas from either your childhood or traumas that have been happening to you probably for the past several years. This is something that Spirits is saying that you need to walk away from. You need to release it and let it go. It's in particular, if it's a lover, I feel like that person is more than likely not going to return to you the way that you want them to. And I feel like it's something that you probably need to move on from. especially if it's got anything to do with a love relationship. Especially a lot of the people that watch this channel, they are either practicing witchcraft or they go and they see witches. And a lot of the times you could be wasting your time and your money, because if it's not meant to be, a love spell ain't going to do nothing. That person will come back into your life and they'll leave very quickly. They'll come back and they'll leave. A lot of the love spells that I've done, and you can actually look on my website and you can see it. The person will come back, and if it's meant to be, they'll marry you. But I feel like this is some kind of cycle that you've been caught up in, and it's something that you just need to move on from. By the way, I need to do my third party love triangle readings for the Scorpios, because I feel like a lot of y'all, because I haven't done that yet. I stopped at the Libra. Okay. So a lot of you that are desiring or wanting or thinking about a relationship with somebody that's in the past, I don't see them as coming back. Okay. I don't. And it probably has something to do with you not standing your ground and you not telling that person what you want, and you being true to yourself and you honoring yourself. Okay. Could be somebody that you have like a karmic connection with, to where you just feel really connected with this person. But I feel like even if it's not going to come back together for another couple of years, you still need to move on. You still need to cut the cord. The Eight of Cups is all about cutting the cord and moving forward. Okay. Sagittariuses, you guys are thinking about a situation that you're in that you want to get out of. The Hanged Man comes up. So that tells me that it's a tough situation that you're involved in. The Hanging Man also represents when you're contemplating moving forward, but you don't do it. And this Queen of Wands is definitely telling you to move forward, is what the Queen of Wands is telling you. The Great Bear comes up in the reverse position, which tells me that you're putting way too much energy into something that is long past and gone. The Great Bear is actually comparable to either the World card or the Fool card. And what is driving you in this situation is your false and foolish pride. And it's not doing anything but keeping you where you're at. Exactly where you're at. Because you just don't want to give up on the situation. But whenever the Hanged Man comes up, it represents a situation that is probably beyond your control, that you need to go ahead and move on from. And you probably should have done it years ago. Letting go is one of the hardest things to do, but you'll be doing yourself a service if you go ahead and move on from that situation. Because right now, I feel like that person, Sagittarius, they got you sitting there waiting. You just waiting. Waiting for what? What are you waiting for? Time waits for no man. Okay. Capricorns, you guys are thinking about healing from a very tough situation that involved somebody that's very narcissistic. Looks like it's either an earth sign or an air sign. I feel like this person was very abusive to you. Feel like they didn't put you first, but yet they held on to you, Capricorn. So they're pretty much holding on to you with a foul intent. They only want to hold on to you so that you can be like a trophy, but they don't want to actually live no kind of life with you. Feel like a lot of you Capricorns are discovering that today. Now, some of you Capricorns are discovering your spiritual power. A lot of you Scorpio, I'm sorry, not Scorpio, a lot of you Capricorns are thinking about your spiritual power. You're thinking about your creativity. You're thinking about what you can do to earn money and to keep money. Okay. Some of you need to move. Some of you can't move until you change your frame of mind. And this is why you're feeling stuck where you're at. This can have something to do with either a house. The Four of Pentacles can represent a money pit, which is the same thing with a relationship, is where you just put all of your energy into it, but you just don't get anything in return. It's just all problems. You need to really, really think about the situation. Six of Arrows comes up, which, you know, Six of Arrows is representing when somebody needs to move on. But a lot of you guys, even if you can't physically change your location, it's really, really good to change your frame of mind and what you're thinking, because that situation is going to follow you. It just follows you, is what it does, is what it's going to do. Okay. Let's look at the Aquariuses. A lot of you Aquariuses are thinking about the safety of your family. A lot of y'all are thinking about financial stability. That's why the Ten of Pentacles comes up. You're also possibly thinking about the limitations or either the traditions, which either can be generational hexes or blessings that is coming from your family. And what Spirit is saying is that you have to bravely move forward and move on from that, because times have changed. And also, if you are wanting to manifest financial security, you're going to have to change your frame of mind, and you're going to have to move past the past. The past is what hurts most of us. So you've got yourself a spirit guide here, which is the Woodward. And the Woodward is comparable to the Hierophant as well as the Emperor. It's actually, the Woodward is comparable to the Strength card. This is the strength in this particular card. And if you want to break those cycles, you're going to have to start with your mind and having a mind of your own. Those struggles that your ancestors suffered through, they don't mean anything at this point. They really don't. I was actually I've been talking about this for like the past week or so. That is what they went through. If you want to manifest any kind of wealth or stability or security in your life, you're going to have to stop being so insecure, because a lot of those family traditions were born out of insecurity, and those things have long passed. Okay. All right, last but not least, the Pisces. A lot of Pisces are thinking about anger. You're thinking about arguments. You're thinking about your emotional pain. Got something to do with either another water sign or an air sign. And let me tell you something. If that person is able to make you feel some type of way, okay, thank you, Irene. You're focused very heavily on this pain, but you're holding it inside, and you need to release it. You need to release yourself from it. Big time. Okay. The Five of Arrows comes up in the reverse position, which tells me that Whatever the situation is about, it is mentally draining. So then stop thinking about it. If you can't stop thinking about it, I'm going to tell y'all something. I've been doing daily cleanses on myself. You need to do them cleanses. Because this is something that you're holding on to. You're holding on to emotions and negative feelings from the past that you need to release. King of Swords is saying that it's throwing off your focus and that eventually one day you're going to regret sitting around for years and years worried about this situation and angry about the situation and falling into this self-pity pattern. You got to stop with the pity party and you got to get up and take action. And take action on yourself, your own mind. Okay, a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with these days, we're not in the age of Pisces anymore. We're in the age of Aquarius. You want that completion. You want those things, but you're way too focused on your anger and, you know, people that hurt you and what they did to you. Well, guess what? They didn't kill you. They may have killed a false ego in you, but they didn't kill you. Okay? All right, guys, that is my reading. Make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up. I am running a special for Memorial Day. You can get a 30-minute reading for $33. The link to my website is below. I also do have my spiritual, etheric, and chakra and aura cleanses, because basically what happens is that people can leave an etheric imprint on you and it's kind of stuck to you and you don't know how to get yourself out of that situation. So if you guys want to reach me, my etheric cleanses are on sale for right now for only $300, and they are definitely worth it. Okay, it just frees your mind and your spirit, and you feel very refreshed and ready to start over. Okay. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. The rest of those love triangle readings are definitely going up today, so be on the lookout for those, and I'll see you guys later. Love and light.